Hello, this is Mator, and today I'm going to be teaching you about using stacks of explosives for trick jumping in Halo Combat Evolved. So I'm just here on Damnation. I feel Damnation is a great map to demonstrate and practice some basic explosion stacks. It has a lot of vertical spaces that are just a lot of fun to use stacks on. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to grab a rocket launcher here, and then I should be set. Alrighty. So, stacks. What is a stack? A stack is any combination of multiple explosives which all detonate more or less simultaneously. You can also detonate them separately, but the majority of the time you try to detonate them simultaneously. So a great place to demonstrate a basic stack on Damnation is here at these two long pipes. What you're going to do is you're going to stand on one of these purple bands on the ground. There's 3 of them here. And you're going to combine a frag jump and a rocket jump. So you're just going to throw a frag straight down, jump, and rocket. And if you do that right, you should fly high enough to get on top of the pipe. So I'm going to do that again, and frag, and then jump rocket. And ta-da! I'm up. So a frag rocket jump will give you more height than just a frag jump or just a rocket jump will do. It's kind of like adding the height they give together. This one is pretty easy. You don't have to have a perfect frag rocket jump to get up here, but it can be a little bit difficult to get on top and stay on top, and if you have lag it can be a real pain. So yeah, I think it's a good place to practice though. So I mean, you can just practice here doing your frag rocket jumps, and with this particular case you want to move after you've jumped rather than before. If you jump before the explosion goes, then you will hit your head on the pipe instead of getting on top. Yeah, that's the gist of it. You want the frag and the rocket to explode about simultaneously. If you fire the rocket too early, it can knock the frag away, and it won't be a synchronized explosion, which is what gives you the most height. It's also important that you jump just before the explosion goes. The later you jump, or the closer you jump to the actual explosion, the more height you get. And the farther you jump from the actual explosion, the less height you get. So like you can see there, I jumped early and I did not get enough height to get on top of that pipe. I'm gonna grab a rocket launcher again. I'm gonna switch for flamethrower though, so I can get all 4 rockets. Yeah, that's the basic frag rocket jump, also abbreviated as an FR jump for frag and rocket. You can also obviously step things up. You can't really add an extra frag grenade unless you bounce it off of a wall. And you can actually, there is a more recent technique that I made and showed in Deadpoint for a double frag jump, where if you jump and throw a frag, it'll bounce, and it'll bounce high enough and it'll take long enough that you can actually throw another frag on the ground when it lands, like so, and then use that. It's a little bit difficult to time though. I would definitely not call it a beginner stack. I wouldn't recommend it if this is your first time doing stacks in Halo CE. This is another pipe that you can jump up to with an FR jump, so I'll just demonstrate that real quickly. Pretty cool. Nice little spot up here. And you can use a grenade jump to get up there. Like this. And then you're against the ceiling of the map. As you can see, I'm kind of bumping my head on it right now. Anywho, let's do another stack. We're going to use PFR now. So we're going to add a plasma grenade to the frag and rocket. And it just so happens, it's an interesting coincidence how the plasma grenade and frag grenade and rocket all explode simultaneously if you do them like this all together. I like to jump before I throw the plasma grenade so I don't accidentally stick my foot. You can too, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. So yeah, I'm just going to jump, throw a plasma grenade, press G to switch grenades immediately after I see the plasma grenade thrown. It might not switch immediately in the corner, but ignore that. It's just because the game freaks out when you throw grenades consecutively and switch grenades. I'm going to aim up a little bit before I throw the frag so it gets stuck under my foot so the timing is proper. You don't necessarily have to do that, but I like to do it because it just helps to make sure everything's timed properly. And then I'm going to jump and shoot a rocket. Alright, let's do this. Oh, wow, well, I was pretty close there, but you can see that is a PFR jump, and I went pretty darn high. It obviously sends you higher than just a frag rocket jump, because you have a whole extra grenade in there. I'm going to try this again. Hopefully make it this time. Plasma, frag, rocket. Oops, bumped my head on the pipe. But anyways, that's the next stack that you can do after you've learned to do an FR jump. I really wish I had more rockets. I should have used a different game type here. But anyhow, let's see if I can get this. Alrighty, plasma, frag, rocket. Alrighty, there we go. So now that we're up here on these pipes, we're once again kind of against the ceiling. You can in fact jump from one pipe to the other, but it's not easy. You usually hit your head on the ceiling, so you have to do it just right. But anywho, that's a plasma frag rocket jump. You might think that that's as big as it gets, but no sir, you can get much bigger than that. You can then use plasmas thrown either straight up, which will come back down. I'll demonstrate that real quickly. Plasma grenade goes straight up and comes back down. It doesn't come down on top of you because your maximum viewing angle upwards is not actually 90 degrees. But that's one way that you could add at least one more grenade. But an even more effective way of adding grenades is throwing them against a wall. So I can throw a plasma grenade against this wall, and then throw a plasma grenade against the ground, and then a frag, and then a rocket. And that's a really big stack. Whoops. Died there from the fall damage. But you can see that that's a pretty darn big stack. That would be a PPFR, 2 plasmas. And it's usually best just to use acronyms like this: P for plasma, F for frag, R for rocket, and unofficially O for fuel rod if you're using that, but that's not really used that much, to be honest. And you can add more than just one plasma grenade. You can add 2 plasma grenades, or 3 plasma grenades, or even 4 plasma grenades for the biggest possible stack. PPPPFR. That's a pretty big stack. Anyways, I'll demonstrate here 2 plasmas. The bigger your stack gets, the harder it is to time things properly. That was pretty well timed. I hit the ceiling of the map there, so you can see that was pretty powerful. But yeah, you can just keep adding more explosives. The more explosives you add, the harder it is to time everything properly, because if even one explosive explodes early, it can push the others away, knock you off balance, and just plain give you less height. One great place to practice stacks on Damnation is here at this overshield. You can use a plasma grenade straight up, a plasma grenade here, plasma grenade here, and then a full PFR on the ground to do 3 plasmas plus a PFR, and you can get up to the waterfall hole. And that's a pretty cool stack. I'll just do it with 2 plasmas on the wall to start. And you can see my stack wasn't very good because I didn't go very high. You have to understand that as you add more grenades, you should be getting more height. Your goal with trick jumps is to get as much power out of your stacks as you can. So I mean, you don't want to use a whole bunch of grenades and then go like 10 feet, because that's lame. You're using all this power. You got to make use of it. You got to be efficient. Every grenade should count and should go towards your overall jump. That was a bit better. You can actually, with 2 plasma grenades there and a PFR, you can actually get on top of these pipes. So, just for knowing how much power you can eke out of these things, it's pretty crazy. So that's a really cool stack to learn and practice. It should help you kind of get the feel for stacks. Yeah, I don't think I have that much more to say. You can one thing that helps if you're trying to figure out how far you have to aim for doing a larger stack You can try just throwing the plasmas and see if they land at the same time. Um, they do bounce, and the amount that they bounce is relative to how high they fall from and the angle they fall at. So that will also slightly influence the time before they explode. So that should be about synced, I think. Yeah, see, there you go. If you have them right, timed properly, then they will explode simultaneously. If you have them timed improperly, then one of them will explode before the other and will probably knock it away. Not always, but sometimes, depending on the timing. So, yeah, that's the gist of it. I wish you best of luck with stacks and everything else that you're working on. So, see ya.